body bags where horror lies.
Now take my bitch. She won't complain about shit cause she's my hoe. She don't belong to a trick, so when you fuck her and give her all your cash, I get paid. I put my foot in her ass, I won't marry the bitch and give her half, I get mo-head. And then I laugh at that one bitch shit. I got a gang of hoes, I get freak ass lick these balls and toes.
Now stupid little bitches get tossed if they don't realize that I'm the motherfucking boss. Come on down and get your ass pinched. And if you talk shit, get your ass lynched. Cause I'm the B, the I, the T, the C, the H, the K, the I, the L, the L, the A, Sean B. A boy that's bigger than a nut cause I'm...
Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to week 65 here on Body Bags. I am your host Moodz616, and thank you once again for dropping in, guys. Alrighty, yeah, week 65 is here. And of course it's another theme week, and like yesterday I did a fill-in review for Steve. It was horror comedy theme week, and like I said yesterday, not really my favorite of subgenres. I don't hate comedy, horror comedy, however you want to put it. It's like I said, it's very hit and miss with me. Although I did really enjoy the movie that I reviewed yesterday. With that said, the one I chose from today is from 2008. It is a French flick, so it is subtitled, and it goes by the title of Vampire Party. This film was released by Dark Sky Films. Yeah, always been a really big fan of Dark Sky. They release some pretty cool stuff, so I was really curious to check this one out. This is a first-time watch for me, so, but I do like the tagline on this. This party is going to suck. Right, so getting into the plot of this one. It centers around three main characters by the name of Sam, Alice, and Prune. Sam is basically he's one of those guys that's just always looking for something to do. You got Alice, who's basically kind of looking for love. Yeah, she's coming out of a relationship, doesn't really know what to do with herself. And then you got Prune. She is the party animal. She's always down for whatever and just willing to party, and that's what she does with her life. She parties nonstop. So anyways, they all kind of get together one night. They head out to the club, kind of doing their own thing, doing some partying, doing some drinking. And Alice gets approached by this person who hands her a invitation to a very prestigious party. This party is actually known to most people as like an urban legend. People really never knew if it actually existed or whatnot. It is called the Medicine Night. I don't know what that really means, but like I said, it was like an urban legend to these people. So Alice gets this invitation. They end up actually stealing a couple more invitations so they can all end up going to this prestigious party. So they hop on this helicopter. It takes them to this secluded type castle where there's hundreds of other people that have been invited to this party. And they proceed to go in. Shortly after getting into the party, they're having a fun time, they're partying up and whatnot, and then they start to realize, well, Prune actually realizes that this party isn't exactly what it seems. The hosts are actually vampires, and basically the guests are their meals. So now it's basically a battle to, get the fuck out of this castle, get off this secluded island or area, wherever they are, and, survive the night and stuff like that. So of course, the vampires have an ulterior motive. It is basically, an anniversary date for them, and yeah, they're chowing down. So, yeah, that's the premise of the film right there. Now, my thoughts on this one. Well, we'll start with the pros to the film. I have to say, for the director, actually I think it was two different directors. It doesn't even say on the back who they are, but they're both first-time directors. I have to say they did a pretty good job visually with this. The direction of the film was pretty well executed. Visually it looks really good. I thought the sound design was really good in this film and stuff. But the script, though, is pretty basic, kind of cliched. Well, not kind of cliched, it's major cliched, along with a lot of the characters. You don't really care about a whole lot of the characters either. You are rooting for the three main ones, but even with that, there's not really a lot of character development, and there's a lot of things happening too that kind of sidetrack you from, your main characters and stuff. So essentially, you don't really care a lot for them. which is kind of a, a con to the film. But, getting into the pros, like the sound design, cinematography is pretty well done. I thought, it was executed well. And actually the vampires, they look pretty cool in this too. There was maybe minimal CGI, which actually was really well done. Pretty much all practical effects though and stuff. I thought the vampires looked very dark and kind of cool. They actually looked pretty vicious and stuff, which was interesting. And this movie has like a darker kind of tone to the film too, which is actually kind of cool. The cons to the film though, like I said, it's very cliched. The characters you don't really care for a whole lot. It's just overly silly. And I think a lot of the jokes don't work in this movie. There's a lot of cliche jokes, and they actually tried to pull off this Titanic joke like 3 times in the film, and that was so fucking irritating. It wasn't even funny the first time. The second time was brutal. The third time, I actually jumped up from the couch and went like, fuck this movie. It's so stupid. There is some jokes in the film that really do work, though. There's this Hitler joke I thought was absolutely hysterical. But, overall, though, like, the comedy in the film is kind of dry. With funny moments. I did it's funny because I did like the tone of the film, and, but with that said, the comedy's so dry that it just kind of like, you're just like, blah, blah. It's unfortunate that you don't care for the characters more because, it would add a little more, substance to the film, I think. They have this, there's this one character in this film, it's just such a it's kind of funny. He's basically a orthodontist, like a dentist, and the joke is that like he's like super famous for doing like all this work on famous people and stuff like that. Anyways, he's at the party. He's been invited to the party, and of course the vampires kind of have a different motive for turning him into a vampire because they basically, well, we all know the vampires probably have shitty ass teeth, right? So they kind of want like an orthodontist around to take care of their teeth. I thought that was pretty fucking funny in the film. Kind of stupid but silly. But yeah, there was a couple times I laughed out loud in this film, and most of the time I found myself going, wow, that was really dry, or that was repetitive, or that's very cliched. There's some twists and turns in the film too that are actually pretty predictable, which was another downfall to the film. But I don't know if it's like the language barrier, maybe the subtext of the jokes and stuff like that. But I find, like I said, they're really dry and stuff. And, it's kind of unfortunate, too, because there's a lot of good things about this movie, like I said, visually. And even the acting is very well done in the film. You can tell that, it wasn't very amateurish and stuff. So, this is a very type average film. I didn't, overly hate it. I wish they had taken out some of those shitty Titanic jokes and whatnot and stuff. But, I'm just going to give this one a very, very loose pass. I'm going to give this one about a 5 out of 10 because, like I said, that's why I kind of made the pros and cons. I usually don't do that in reviews, but this one's kind of very hit and miss, and stuff. And I really did not care for the end of this film at all. I thought it was very cliched and predictable. I hate to overuse those words, but it is what it is, so. But yeah, Vampire Party. What can I say, man? It's very, very average, and it's unfortunate because I was really looking forward to this one. And Dark Sky Films generally does release a lot of good stuff, so. But yeah, so that's going to do it for week 65 here on Body Bags. If you want to seek it out, try it out, but I would definitely say, I don't know, man, maybe you guys might like the comedy a little more than I did. It just didn't work as well for me as, Die and Let Live from yesterday, so. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it. Vampire Party. I don't know. Anyways, I'll check you next week. Peace out.